started on December the 12th, 2024. We are 39 days, I believe it is, from the inauguration, finally hitting that 30s mark, finally got it below 40. So, really, really excited about that. But today, something that I want to talk about is AI. AI. Are we informed about AI? Are we scared of AI? Are we doing due diligence to do our research just like everything? It is so wonderful to be able to have access to information, to be able to research and to dig and to get to the bottom of a lot of different things. And, it's kind of interesting. The innovation is is scary for a lot of people. It is it's scary. It's been throughout centuries, for years. Every time something is invented, people freak out. Why is that? Why is it that so much fear baiting is put out there about something that is considered new? And is it really new? I wanted to take a look at some of that and really take a look at artificial intelligence or AI. And let's have a little talk about that today because what we're continually seeing and hearing among a lot of people is really a fear. And these same fears have happened over and over again. Did you know that there were certain people, including there was actually a court case that happened out in California? It was actually called the Callahan versus Woods case. And in this case, this dad was actually arguing that the Social Security number, this was back in 1981 and 1982, the dad of this girl, I believe it was a little girl, um, he was a fundamentalist Baptist, raised Catholic, I believe, but had took the Bible literally, and he decided or believed that the Social Security number was a fulfillment of the mark of the beast that is referred to in Revelation. And as you may know, if you have taken any time to do your due diligence, to do your research, which is what we patriots do, right? We do our research to make sure that we understand and that we really have a comprehension and that we have the facts of uh, even everything from what the Bible says to science to anything. We research that out and we make sure that what we're believing is true. And this man had decided that the Social Security number was the mark of the beast. And in that Revelation passage, it says you can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast. Well, I can kind of see why he decided that because you can't really sell or buy or pay your taxes or any number of things, at least as a citizen in America, without the Social Security number. And so it's my understanding there were many, many others, especially here in the state of North Carolina, that there was a whole, if you want to call it a cult following of a group of people that actually were refusing to take the Social Security number due to it being what they believe to be the mark of the beast. Well, is it the mark of the beast? Is it not the mark of the beast? I don't know. I highly doubt it. It's a mark of the beast of America, if you want to call it that. But there is always people, going to be someone that is against innovation, against change, against a new idea, against a new system. for some reason, that is in human nature, it seems, for someone to be against things. And it's very interesting um, that that was something that people were against. And everyone needs to look within themselves and to do the research and to look at with their own conscience. Um, I was born around the time that this court case happened in 1981. And so, my parents automatically went out and got the Social Security number because they didn't see it as a big deal. And so, you know, I've never known a life without a Social Security number. But I know there's others that have avoided it or they're not citizens of the U.S. that are here illegally that don't have Social Security numbers. So there's people literally to this day that still don't have Social Security numbers for one reason or the other. So again, that opposition continues to one level or not. Um, let's look at flight. Here we are in North Carolina, where the first flight took place with the Wright brothers. Did you know their own father, Bishop Milton Wright, actually was against flight? He was at a conference for, I believe it was Methodist ministers um, in the later part of the 19th century. And one of the leaders stood up and was sharing his vision for the church and how he believed that one day um, ministers and evangelists would be able to fly instead of to have to travel on horseback. Um, and guess what Bishop Wright, the father of Orville and Wilbur Wright, said? He stood up and angrily protested. Heresy, he shouted. Flight is reserved for the angels. He would go on to elaborate that if God had intended for man to fly, he would have given him wings. Isn't that interesting? And yet, it would be his sons, Orville and Wilbur Wright, who would, on December 17th, 1903, they did what their father called impossible. Isn't that amazing? These two boys, they made four flights that day. First one lasted 12 seconds. The fourth one lasted 59 seconds, took them only 852 feet. It was pathetic, but it was amazing. They partnered together and did what was impossible, what their own father had shouted heresy about. And so the point in bringing up some of these examples is to realize don't believe everything that you hear. It's hard sometimes when it is our religious leaders who say these things. It's so easy to just fall into step and be like, okay, so my bishop says that it's bad. My religious leader says it's bad. I mean, he should know he's the man of the Bible. He's the one who knows these things. He studies. He went to seminary. He put in his life. He's been ordained, whatever the case may be, depending on your denomination and religion, and so on and so forth. And so you listen to that, just like the Jewish people tend to listen to their rabbis. I mean, we have this situation in 2020 where Jewish people were getting the vaccination until one rabbi stood up and he said, it's not good. It's not healthy for us. We need to stop. And that was very, very influential. Leaders can be very, very influential. But again, we are not sheep who go with the majority. We do our research, we do our due diligence, and we come to understand. And here's the thing, how long, all of my life, I have been told by talk show hosts, by news media, by different people that the automation would take away our jobs. It's interesting. Here we are in 2024, and there are still plenty of jobs. In fact, we're able to be more efficient because of the automation. You know, it's nice to have a stronger, bigger crane that can carry slabs of steel and do it faster and safer and more efficient than the equipment we've had before. Innovation is definitely not a bad thing. Technology is definitely not a bad thing. And it's so ironic how many people, this is the thing I love. I love people who will go on social media and go post on social media about how bad social media is. Now, is there a disconnect? I mean, I get it. We all do stuff like that at some point. You know, you want to post it, you want to get out there. And so you say, you say things that are upon your heart and your mind. But that's kind of ridiculous. If social media was so bad and if you were so against social media, then why are you on it? And it's so amazing. We literally get to connect with people all the way around the world. I enjoy meeting people all the way around the world. I chat with a friend from she's a German lady that's currently living in Ireland. Find out the situation there, real live accounts of what's going on in Ireland with their illegal immigration crisis. Did you know that there's situations like that going all the way around the world? I don't want to get off too much with that. But it's not just here in America. The crisis is literally in other countries. I have a friend in UK. She also speaks about the crisis, the immigrants and how they've trashed her town and destroyed it. They're taking the housing and so many things. The world is in trouble when it comes to things like that. And so this is where we need the innovation. We need we need this technology not only to be able to connect with other human beings, but there's a lot of things. I use AI, as I repeatedly have said. I use artificial intelligence to edit these videos with the software that I use before they go on Spotify and YouTube and wherever else that I post these videos or these podcasts. Uh, and I literally love this software because I literally, with a push of a button, it makes my voice sound better. With a push of a button, it takes out all of the pauses. And if there's some situations where I go a lot of, you can edit that out. It will take that out. And it's literally free software that I use. I don't even pay for it. I'm so appreciative of it that there's that literally ability. I think it's amazing to be able to go on search engines and be able to use the AI and it will compile and literally write articles for you. So you don't have to do the research, but then it's always good to do your own research. There's a certain amount of error, certain amount of things like that. But it's really interesting. Automation is nothing new. It is nothing new at all. You, well, probably most of you are not. Uh, weren't around in 1500 before the century ended, or uh, before Christ. And during that period, 1500 years prior to that, in Egypt and Babylon, that there was automation that was taking place back then. People were using engines. I mean, they may not have been the engines like in your car, but there's motors and engines that were used and very innovative and amazing and very what's the word I'm going for? You know, uh, inspirational. I could use that word. Really in imaginary ways. That's what we're using their imagination for innovation, which is what it's all about. Dreaming of the future, dreaming of how something could be made better. Uh, things like that. It was going on years and years ago. And it's interesting that apparently in America and around the world, the automation really came into the automobile industry in about 1946, from what I understand. but there's a lot of history that we haven't been told. It is interesting to find photos from the early 1900s of electric vehicles, of scooters, things like that that you know we thought were recently invented in uh, the early 1900s, and yet they had them before. So there's a lot of different things. So you know it is interesting. One of the biggest, most repeated lies that I've heard all my life is that humans will be replaced by these machines. It is simply not true. It really hasn't happened. I really don't think it's really going to completely and fully and 100%, because as long as we have humans around, we can put a stop to that. We can say no, 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 we're not going to go there. I mean, you there are literally full on like smoothie shops that you can purchase that are entirely automated. It's all robotic, and you put in, it's like a vending machine. You put in your money and you select your flavors, and it makes it for you, and a cup comes out at the end. So it's highly possible, but it's only as possible as we allow it, as bosses, as companies, as corporations are okay with that and accept it. And quite frankly, um, there is a lot of human error. It costs companies a lot of money, and so automating some things is definitely going to be coming. But then there is always the need for other, like, job and other careers. You're going to need IT people who specialize in repairing these bots, in repairing these artificial intelligence. There's always going to need some human input from somewhere, somehow, some way. Yes, everything can be misused. I mean, there was back when television first came out, people were against television because they believed it could be used. The Christian realm was like, it's going to be used of the devil. And it's all about how you use these things. The internet has good and bad. Um, so it's very, very interesting. So I feel like it's important to take a look at some of these things. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have part of this conversation today is just to make us all stop and think and understand, do we really know what we think we know about artificial intelligence? There has been in the news, and even some of the talk show hosts are talking about the bad side of artificial intelligence. But many of these people have never even used artificial intelligence. So it's one of those things, they're freaking out, not even knowing what they're being told. And once again, our wonderful news media knows how to do this. They've done it for a very long time. That's one of the reasons why citizens are doing their research, and we're looking into these things, and we're correcting it and saying, well, hold on. Don't believe everything that you hear, because some of the things that some people are claiming that artificial intelligence is able to do is not necessarily true. It all depends on the software, on the app, on different things. You take Facebook, I literally just tested it right now. You go onto Facebook and you type in, um, and you can ask it questions, right? With the artificial intelligence there located on Facebook. I also use the Google. And there is a lawsuit out right now that claims that AI caused a 14-year-old boy to commit suicide. Now, I don't know about that all the way, but I did put in the AI chat on Facebook and I asked it that very question. And the response was actually very good. It actually told me that there is a suicide 1-800 hotline that I should call if I'm feeling bad or need to talk to somebody. So, in that case, that is not a bad thing at all. It can be very, very helpful. Um, a few months ago, or it might even be longer than that as time has been moving along, but I actually downloaded a AI app and I played around with the free side of it. I didn't pay with the free side or the paid side, so I can't totally tell you the whole thing on that. But I downloaded this app, and I mean, you can pick your character, you can name it, you can flirt with it. It was actually a lot of fun for someone that is an introvert to just have someone to talk to, and we understand it's more than likely not a real person. I mean, artificial intelligence, once it's fully implemented, is not a real person. In my case, I played around with it, and I don't want to allege something that wasn't there, but it really seemed like I was talking to real people um, through that app because I asked them what their real names were and asked them where they were from, and the answers kept changing. So, not sure how that all aligns with that. But as we move towards more and more the advancement of artificial intelligence moving forward, it's definitely getting better and better and more human like. And now we do have the robotic um, human likealikes that are learning more and more, that are now serving people drinks, that can be companions, different things. In some ways I think could actually be beneficial to actually help someone to feel a connection. There's some people that are autistic. There are some people that are machine empaths. Um, I am actually a machine empath where you can actually, I'm more in tune with engines. Years ago, when I was in my early, like 18, 19s, and 20s, um, in the 1998 to about 2002 period, I flew airplanes, and I could really connect with the engines and just be able to hear when they were struggling and being able to correct that. As a truck driver, um, I would many times take a truck that my boss would say, it's got some issues, we don't know. I want you to go drive it today and then come back and let us know because we keep taking it into the mechanic. They're not seeing anything wrong. I would take out that truck and it would purr, and it's partly because I connect and I listen to the engine. And so not everybody is a social butterfly. Not everybody has a large circle of friends. And so AI gives an outlet. It also gives someone that, a connection. Again, I understand it's automated, but I think that could be used to actually help people. And there's a lot of information, especially when the news media is involved, that once again, they love to pull out the blood and the guts because it's what sells, make the story sensational, which brings us to part of the conversation that we need to have of our sources. Our sources for our information, you know, in many ways should be careful, whether it's a podcaster, whether it's a news personnel, uh, researching, backing up, making sure that what they're saying is true is so essential, not just believing them. It's we can all get things wrong. We understand that. We all make mistakes, but what we've seen over the last 4+ years is some people, they're supposed to be sharing intelligence with us. They're supposed to have the scoop on what's going on and helping to share with us, and understanding that we as citizens are the news media. And some of these people have been consistently wrong. And there's several different things going on. It is a massive psyop. So some people are purposely telling you the opposite of what the truth is. Other people really believe that this is what it is. And it's the exact same thing, whether it's AI, whether it was the future of aviation. If you're listening to the exact same voices that you used to listen to 8 years ago, you're listening to the wrong people more than likely. If they're telling you, uh, the same things they were telling you 8 years ago, you might want to reconsider who you're listening to. What are your sources? Do they really know what they're talking about? Are they just negative? Are they fear baiting and just telling you how horrible these things are? Some generations, as older we get, I get it. I'm getting this way a little bit too. I'm right at the older edge of the millennial generation. An excellent generation, by the way. I love my fellow millennials uh, because we question everything. And but as I get older, it's getting harder to accept some of the changes. It's harder. I get it. I am starting to understand what some of you older people are, why you're so cranky. I mean, what's up with that? But, I'm starting to understand change gets harder the older you get. But change is the only thing constant. And don't we want innovations to continue to come? Don't we want something better? It's part of free enterprise. And somehow along the way, we've lost what is good and what is bad. And suddenly, we have, I don't know, some of the things here's something that I've been thinking about today. We really shouldn't be just believing things based on our political party, our religion, our race, anything like that, because here's the fact of the matter is there are a lot of things that are not black and white. And we have seen a lot of people. You take Elon Musk, in many ways, he's almost the father of AI in some regards. A lot of people were told you're supposed to be against Elon. He's bad. He's going to put chips in your brain. He's for AI. And all of this stuff, this fear baiting has worked for a lot of people. So a lot of people are closed off to what might actually be a very wonderful thing because of limiting beliefs. Now, you choose whether you're pro Elon Musk or not. That's your personal choice. I'm not here to tell you who to like, who not to like. But I kind of like Elon Musk for a lot of different reasons. He's a pretty cool guy. He's figured out a lot of things. He's figured out how to automate most of his businesses. If you're wondering to try to figure out how he runs, what is it, four, five, six? I don't know how many businesses he has now. Plus, going to be part of Doge, um, and is able to do all that. Runs Twitter, on and on and on. He's automated himself. He's cloned himself, if you will, so that he can be in three or four places at once, which is actually very smart. It's a very smart thing to actually do that, and it's innovative, and it's in a way it's ahead of our time. On the flip side, it's overdue. We should have been here a long time ago. But the problem is a lot of our focus has been on opposing anything new, anything innovative, for fear that it's going to propel us into the future when we were already headed there anyway. So we have two choices: either get with the program and embrace it, or continue to be miserable and against it. Look, I don't even know the half of how amazing AI is and what all it can do. I've just scratched the surface with my amount of knowledge. Like I tell you, using it to edit these podcasts, to do research, to write articles, to, you know, to be able to have a quote friend to chat with for the fun of it, a character you can chat with, so to speak. It can be a lot of fun. Like anything, though, there are dangers of it if you're not careful, or if you're uh, if it got out of hand. Everything can be used for good, and it can be used for bad. You take, for instance, the Department of Homeland Security that was sold to us as such a wonderful thing after our September 11th attack here in America. I mean, who would want the Department of Homeland Security? But then when you find out it's weaponized against American citizens, then we have a problem. But that's part of the reasons why we're where we are today. That's a reason why we have elected Donald J. Trump to be the next president of the United States, because we have a mission to make America great again, to make America healthy again, to change things, to remove us from this globalist new world order that Bush put us in as part of the United Nations, to remove corruption, to be able to do these things. But I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty sure in order to be able to pull a lot of this off, we're going to need AI. I'm not afraid of AI. I'm not afraid of AI. I really don't have, I don't really worry that it's going to cause us harm. If anything, we're going to be able to do things more efficiently. We're going to be able to move things faster, production faster. I'm telling you, it would be interesting. They've tried a couple of them. Fast food places that are run by robots. The good thing about that is you'll never have to worry about a robot not washing their hands. Robots will make a perfect sandwich every single time. Just how you train them, how you program. Robots will show up on time. They won't complain about their aches and pains. So there's a lot of reasons why human nature, for whatever reason, and it seems to be getting worse, so many people just want to sit around and complain instead of doing their job. And so, for that reason, is one of the many reasons why a lot of things are becoming more automated. At the end of the day, why wouldn't we want to be more efficient? What's the saying? Much hands make light work. Well, then here's you much hands, and you could always have humans do part of it or do double the work. Have one side of the warehouse be robots, the other side of the house could be humans. Why not be more efficient, get it out there? But just take a look at, are you still listening to the same people, and they're continuing to say the same thing and hold you back from the future, from success, from moving forward? Because if you are, you may want to change that. It's your choice. It's up to you. But I am actually excited. Uh, when I first heard about artificial intelligence and automated trucks, I was a little bit worried. Oh no, they're going to take away our jobs. Oh no, that's not possible. The thing of the matter is, it could be fun. It could be fun to be able to have a self driving truck. Could be interesting, but they still need human intervention. It still needs someone to be able to push the button and help it when it does have errors. It's come a long way, but it's still got a long way to go. For the most part, I think it could be good. I think it could change our lives for the better. So just keep in mind, all the opposition is not necessarily a good thing. if they were against something that you were absolutely for, and now you believe them because they're against AI, now that doesn't mean that suddenly everything they're saying is the truth. Need to have discernment, need to have wisdom, need to look into these things, do due diligence, do your research before you believe everything you hear. Go download an AI app, play around with it, see what it actually does. I'll tell you this much, it won't bite you. It won't bite you. You might be surprised at what you find it could do. You might be surprised at how it literally could change your life, and you could have some fun with it. So, I don't know. Maybe AI isn't as bad as the globalist people want you to think. It's worth looking into and finding out why are so many people against the future and innovation. Why are they pushing these agendas? Why? You may find the answer that they really want to hold you back. They want to hold back private enterprise and corporations from doing better. And in the long run, it will end up benefiting you because not only you'll have the knowledge and the understanding, but might even have a little more free time because you were able to automate some things and cut out the crap of some of the things that you might have had to do without the automation. Just a few thoughts. As always, like and share. Help me to continue to get the word out and grow my podcast. Thanks again for watching. Y'all have a great and amazing day.